I've tried to make this video like a million times. I'm not fucking kidding when I tell you that this is now over a year in the making. That is too long. Every time I try to tackle the subject, I put in so much work that things feel bloated. To put it into perspective, the first draft of this video was 50,000 words long. That's like novella length on this. After my first video on YouTube, Loser Man Hero High, I finally got motivated to make this video again, to give it one last go. I'd spent entire books worth of words on something I didn't like, and it all got too much, so I had to take things from a new angle. I decided to head out for some fresh air in the park with a coffee to brainstorm ideas. However, I was interrupted by a huge group of French tourists. I mean, huge. They took up like half the park, which really ruined the tranquil feel. Also, what were they doing there? There's nothing here. I suppose it is kind of near the train station, I guess? Trains don't take you to France, though. So I had to go home and do things the old-fashioned way. So, just what is this Danganronpa thing? Well, the short answer is bad. The long answer is... Danganronpa is an adventure game developed by Spike Chunsoft, which is the name of Spike after they were acquired by Chunsoft. Really creative, guys. Boiled down to its core, it's a murder mystery with heavy visual novel elements that takes place in a school. Because of course it does. The series got popular for its intriguing premise, unique visuals, and of course, characters that appealed to Tumblr. The series has somehow garnered critical acclaim despite the absence of quality. This meant that it went on to get a bunch of sequels, spin-offs, anime, manga, and even a few stage plays. I could take you through the entire history of the creation of the franchise, but that would be boring, and it's overplayed. You see, the original Danganronpa, known as Distrust, is part of a long-living trope known as creepy beta. And I'm not talking about soy boys. Oh, good lord. No, instead I'm talking about a specific subsection of lost media in which unfinished games are thought to have dark secrets. The most popular recent example was Super Mario 64 in 1995, in which a borderline creepypasta emerged surrounding the early build of the game. This spooky, scary idea does have some grounds in reality, of course. The most infamous real example is the Half-Life 2 beta, in which it was like Half-Life but all fucked up and dark, and there was child labor and a fucking guy called the Cremator who'd wander the streets to burn the bodies of the dead. Just like Half-Life 2, Danganronpa is absolutely better off for changing so much. It would be somehow more unbearable to play if it retained its weapons-grade edge, with fucking decapitations and gross-ass character designs and blood and shit. Well, I hope there wasn't any shit. Point is, they really dodged a bullet. That's the name of the game. Guns, schools, great fucking combo. Bullet refutation, that's what it means. So it was finally released as Trigger Happy Havoc Danganronpa. That's technically the American name created by NIS America. The original was called Danganronpa, Academy of Hope and High School Students of Despair. Honestly, a good change, probably. So how is it? Well, you can probably tell by the title that it's not very good. It's got a lot of problems. As reviewer Damn Game Ropa says, "This game sucks so much, I created an account just so I can vent on it. All that happens is some unlikable group of brats murder each other off, and when you try to uncover the mystery, they just annoy you with some stupid sex joke that's not even funny. This eyed a murder case, not a high school debate. What the hell is wrong with these idiots?" And I completely agree. Trigger Happy Havoc is a poorly written, weirdly translated, surprisingly mean-spirited game. It doesn't deserve any of the praise that it somehow got. Okay, last little interjection before I start. Why does the title screen sound like shit? It's not an error because it sounds the same on Spotify. They very intentionally made it sound like it was coming from another room. Pressing the new game button causes our protagonist, Makoto Naegi, to exposition dump on us for 10 whole minutes. That is not a joke, I fucking counted. To sum it up, Makoto is about to attend Hope's Peak, the most elite school in the country, if not the world. Just by attending, you're guaranteed success in life, as jobs will be clamouring to hire Hope's Peak alumni. So with a school so prestigious, it must be really difficult to get in. And it is. Hope's Peak isn't interested in test scores or applications, and instead they have to scout you out on your own merit. Each student who attends is the best in their field at that moment. From here, they gain their title, Ultimate Blank. So you have sports talents like baseball, or academic stuff like neurology and pharmaceuticals, or arts like music and dance. So how did he get in? Luck. Yeah, that's right. He got in via a lottery. The school holds a lottery every year to see who the luckiest person is. That person gets into the school in which their ultimate talent is luck. Now you might be thinking, Kai, that's not a talent, and then I tell you to sit back down because you're going to be thinking that a lot, and secondly, unfortunately, that exact point is extremely important to understanding the narrative as we go through this franchise, and I'm so sorry. He tells us about the weird creepy forums he visits and shows up for his first day. Unfortunately, he almost immediately gets wonky vision and passes out. Later, he wakes up in a classroom with a note scribbled on paper atop his desk. It reads that the school is going to become our world. The classroom is shut off from the outside, the windows are bolted shut with metal plating. Makoto confirms by fucking punching the plating. After checking the time, we get to the best part of the game. Hope's Peak. For all the complaining I'm going to do, I have to admit that exploring the colourful halls of this repurposed building with one of the best backing tracks ever It's pretty good. Beautiful death as well, as it says. Beautiful. The soundtrack was created by composer Masafumi Takada, who is great. He's worked on other stuff, including some Suda 51 projects. Huh, I wonder if that'll be relevant later. Point is, the distortion of this prestigious ornate campus into a weirdly surreal space, lit with a new monocolor every turn, is genuinely kinda cool. Regardless, we have to head for the exit, and when we do, that's when we run into everyone. They are as follows.
Kiyotaka Ishimaru. I believe in bold simplicity. Let's work together on our educational crusade.
The ultimate moral compass. We'll talk about it later. He's all rules and regulations. He's loud and convicted in his beliefs.
Not that you'll remember my name anyway, but I'm Toko Fukawa.
Oh man, she's the ultimate writing prodigy. Look, I'll talk about it later. Look, you just gotta believe it. You just gotta trust me on this one.
Hi, I'm Sayaka Mizono. I look forward to getting to know you.
Sayaka Mizono, the ultimate pop sensation as well, exactly as she sounds. She's famous for her music with her group. Apparently she's got great intuition and can predict what people are thinking.
Yo, the name's Leon Kuwata. What's up?
Leon Kuwata, the ultimate baseball star. He fucking hates baseball though. I would rather pursue music instead. That's his entire character. Also, he's kinda creepy.
I am Hifumi Yamada, but if you want to call me by my nickname,
The Alpha and the Omega!
I don't mind.
Hifumi Yamada, the ultimate fan fiction author. Okay, I can't fucking take it anymore. The state of the localization makes my asshole invert. Okay, these talents, they're not really the talents these characters have. As you've seen, and will see, they're all extremely fucking weird or wordy or what have you. This is a choice. This was not an issue in the original, in which they were to the point. Some removed certain aspects of Japanese culture from the title, so idol became pop sensation. Public Morals Committee member became moral compass, and most notably, Hifumi Yamada. His talent, fanfic author, and his self-given nickname, the Alpha and the Omega, might cause you to fucking panic. But no, Hifumi wasn't scouted for writing the best super hulock ABO. He's a doujin author. He makes manga. Guys, how did you fuck that one up? This is even stranger in Taka's case because they fucking mention that he was part of the Morals Committee. I'm going to shit and die.
Heya! I'm Aoi Asahina, but my friends just call me Hina. Sup?
Next up is Aoi Asahina, who's, great. No notes. Well, ultimate swimming pro? No points for guessing her more straightforward original talent. Okay, time to address the elephant of the room, or I guess the toddler since he's so small. You might have noticed from the dialogue in the B-roll I was using that Makoto Naeki is kind of a big bitch. Or, well, actually a little bit. She's so small. Makoto is weirdly rude to the people around him for no reason. And as we go on, trust me, it will only fucking get worse. And none of it is presented as being like a bad thing. It's not like, oh, he's a prick and he'll grow out of it. No, he's supposed to be likable. Like, Aoi asks how to spell his last name and he just says, it's spelled how it sounds. It's only 5 letters. What if she has like dyslexia or something, asshole?
Hello, nice to meet you. I'm Chihiro Fujisaki.
Chihiro is clearly supposed to be the adorable nerdy girl of the writer's dreams. She's the only character shorter than Makoto. Sure hope nothing weird happens.
My name is Kyoko Kirigiri.
Next up, Kyoko Kirigiri, solemn and silent, won't even reveal her talent and shuts down conversation quickly.
Hi, I'm Junko Enoshima. Charmed, I'm sure.
Junko Enoshima, the ultimate fashionista. Makoto was a massive shithead to her. Just read this. What dreams, huh? What fucking dreams? Speak of Mondo Owada, the ultimate fuck off.
Name's Mondo Owada. Nice to fucking meet ya.
I am Sakura Okami.
Sakura Ogami, the ultimate martial artist. These weird forums call her the ogre? How vile. Oh, next up is a doozy, let me tell you.
Name's Byakuya Togami.
Byakuya fucking Togami, the long-legged rat bastard himself, and easily the best character they have. The ultimate affluent oh, fuck off. Guess what the original talent was? Guess. You get 2 points if you get it right. Ready? Air, not oxygen. His talent was being the heir to a family fortune. Now you might then ask, Kai, that's not a talent. And then I'd say, didn't I tell you to fucking sit down? I will literally pick you up and throw you back into that goddamn seat so hard it rearranges the matter of that fucking chair. I know. I don't fucking get it either. My personal headcanon is that he bought his way in and they had to make some bullshit up for him, because how else could that possibly happen?
I'm Yasuhiro Hagakure. Hero for short. Take it easy, yeah? I know I will.
Yasuhiro Hagakure, the ultimate clairvoyant. He has no talent either. He's just insane. And older than everyone else. He's 21 and asks a high schooler to go out and get drinks. Oh boy.
I do not think we have been introduced. I am Celestia Ludenberg.
Lastly, we have Celestia Ludenberg, the ultimate gambler. Very good. That's all. No notes. Apparently she's a big fucking liar though, and if so, why would you pretend to be French? That's everyone. The group discusses their predicament for a while, and I'd like you to pay attention to that vault door. Just keep it in mind. The group come to the conclusion that this is some sort of initiation into the school. But then, a nearby monitor sparks to life. Its screen a sickly noisy green, its speakers just as unpleasant. A cheery voice calls everyone to the gymnasium for the entrance ceremony.
To all incoming students, I would like to begin the entrance ceremony right now. Please make your way to the gymnasium at your earliest convenience.
Hifumi screaming gave me an actual headache. Despite their fear, it seems the gym is actually set up specifically for an entrance ceremony. It's about to begin.
Hey there, howdy, hello. Is everyone here? Good. Then let's get things rolling.
Monokuma, you know him, you do, Funko Pop icon. He's in every fucking Hot Topic. Monokuma claims to be the headmaster of the school. He explains that we're all going to live together in a communal life, permanently. It's cut us off from society, but there is one way to get out, one way to escape these halls. Under the graduation clause of the school rules, a student can leave by getting away with murder. Everyone is shocked and enraged, and eventually Mondo attacks the bear. Okay, so I was supposed to leave this for later, but in the stage play adaptation, Monokuma is an actual fucking teddy bear being puppeted around, and it makes this scene funnier than it already is. A After being attacked, Monokuma starts beeping. Kyoko shouts to throw him away, and as he flies through the air, he fucking explodes. But just like that, a new one appears almost instantaneously. He gives everyone an e-handbook, clearly from before Hope's Peak was taken over, remnants of its old purpose left behind. As the denial dissipates, suspicion sets in. Everyone locks eyes with each other, unaware of what they're capable of. 15 strangers who all think they're the best. They were here to attend a school that would stroke their ego like no other. Who knows what they'll do to get out. Now this might seem very intriguing. You might say, Kai, this looks great. You told me it was gonna be bad. And then I'd say, did I not fucking tell you to sit down? But yes, you're completely right. This is great. This is super interesting. That's because this is peak Trigger Happy Havoc, as good as it gets. There are over 24 hours left, and we already finished the best part in the first hour. Yes, by the way, that was a fucking hour. Not in game, in real fucking life. I condensed and embellished it to make it better than it already is. Bloat is the key word here. All that happened in an entire hour is introductions. Chapter 1 is kind of unique as it's structured differently from the rest. It's entirely centered around the relationship between Makoto Naegi and his old classmate, Saika Maizono. It is pretty linear, even by this game's standards. It's also pretty good. It's not egregiously bad yet, so without further ado, let's just jump into it. Who says that? Is that Philip DeFranco? I think. Okay. We open chapter 1 where we left off with everyone staring at each other. The silence is broken and Taka gets kinda weird. They all decide to check out the rules. They are pretty much, some places are locked at night, don't sleep anywhere except the dorms, don't break shit, and obviously don't hurt Monokuma. I'll also explain the rules of the game since the actual narrative itself is a bit off with us. Essentially, it's a death game show that's being broadcast out to the world. The cameras sprinkled about the campus are for Monokuma to keep an eye on the contestants, but they're also cameras for TV. If contestants want out of the game, they have to kill someone and most importantly, get away with it. If they do, they get to leave, and everyone else dies. If they fail, they die. How they fail is by being caught. The contestants are given the opportunity to do so in a trial in which they all get together and present their evidence. At the end, they have a chance to vote on who the killer is. Again, this might seem cool, interesting even, but I promise you, the game doesn't deliver on the potential of that concept. Some of the basic info I just gave you was saved for the end of the game, despite it making things more interesting. It is also information that is kind of saved again at the end of the franchise, as if it wasn't a twist that was already done. I digress though. To think of it as a disturbing reality game show makes significantly more sense than just like a contrivance so you can have a murder mystery with no cops. It completely changed my perspective when I first found this out. Why hide it when it's infinitely more interesting? I don't know. They would further expand on this concept in later entries, in which they would take the concept too far, but it is pretty simple here. The cast discussed the rules for a scene that goes on just a little too long. I get it though. They're trying to get some character building in. Mono goes, "I'll never follow these stupid rules," to, "Well, I made promises, so I will follow these stupid rules." In mere seconds. They decide to forget the whole murder thing and explore the school instead, but Byakuya has a little bitch, calls Monto a plankton, and this enrages him so much that he decks Makoto into next Wednesday. Makoto wakes up in his dorm, unaware of what time it is. A note on the wall tells us that A, only the girls' bathrooms have locks on them because I guess Monokuma wants men to walk in on each other shitting, and lastly, prepare yourself for this one, men get a toolkit and women get a sewing kit. Dude, I can't fucking believe this. A sewing kit Seriously? This was released in 2010 and localized in 2014, not 1812. Makoto's bathroom appears to be locked, but it's not because he's a fucking girl. It's simply because it's broken. After a way too long, thorough investigation of the room and a repeat of some rules, Makoto leaves, but then gives Sayaka a concussion by swinging open the door. She reveals the real reason Makoto was knocked unconscious, to make sure all the investigating and exploration was done off screen, because God forbid, that might have actually been fun. So, reactions. This feature sucks. I don't want to be pessimistic, but I swear. Essentially, you get to choose part of a sentence to react to. This might seem cool at first. I can assure you it is tedious and pointless. This feature is never used in any interesting way. Sayaka asked if we went to the same school as her, and we did. What a fun little coincidence. Makoto is kind of a little bitch. Like, his weird self-deprecating thing he's doing is just really annoying. Anyway, their dynamic is kind of strange. She decides to be Makoto's assistant, and she's way too into it. Taka swings open the door with everyone else following him. I genuinely love this frame. I wish they used more illustrations. They really add depth and dynamism to their characters. Not to mention that Beautiful Death is such a wonderful song with such strong vibes. I feel kind of at peace with playing this dog shit. Turns out though that someone was left behind, as Kyoko Kirigiri is missing. Makoto has an internal panic, wondering if they already have the body on their hands. They immediately move on. So let's talk. Let's really talk. This one fucking scene is a microcosm of everything wrong with the story. Okay, so you need to talk to each of these groups to hear about the fun stuff that you should have been doing in a better written story. So, how do you do this? Do you, like in every single other scene in the franchise, interact with the group in the order you want? No. This is the only time in the whole series, I'm pretty sure, that you can't even fucking highlight the cast. They just stand there. No, instead you have to talk to Sayaka and react to everyone's names individually. This means you have to read the same dialogue over and over to get all the information. How fucking awful is that? How immersion breaking as well. This could never happen. Imagine if in a book, to get all the story, you had to reread the same page over and over with a slightly different ending. Not only that, but most of the info is regurgitated. We already know most of this from our own half-conscious experiences. The only notable thing so far is that the dorms are fully soundproofed. That's it. Side note, this scene is so bad you can see the edges of the characters from the side. Good job. Sakura and Mondo tried to beat up the vault door, the one with the two big fucking guns. This is really out of character for someone as disciplined as Sakura. Just another CinemaSins ding for this scene. They tell you more things that you'd know by now if you just looked to your left. The stairs are locked off. Toko has a weird slut-shaming thing going on. Body shaming too. I love this scene. They talk a little about Monokuma and what the fuck, guys? I don't even like what. Is this an eating out joke? Or a vor joke? Anyway, remember that thing about Kyoko being missing? Well, that's over now. Hi, she has a map. Using this, we can confirm what we already knew. This is in fact, really, Hope Speak Academy. Celeste, for whatever reason, decides that we need to adapt to survive. That means, we have to agree to a curfew, in which the cast aren't allowed to leave their dorms after nighttime is officially declared, which by the school rules is 10 p.m. to 7 a.m. With that, everyone heads to sleep. Monokuma announces that night has begun, and day one is finally over. Every time Makoto falls asleep, we get a Monokuma theater. I guess he just dreams about Monokuma. In these, he gets to air out his thoughts. That's all. The bell rings and a new day begins. Makoto decides to go see Sayaka, who is currently looking for something to use in self-defense. She asks Makoto to help her look. This is my absolute favorite part of the entire game, and it's completely optional. Listening to those wonderful songs while slowly sauntering through the school just feels right. If you really want to, however, you can just teleport. Outside the gym, Makoto finds a sword. Unfortunately, it's just a replica, and even worse is the paint comes off at the slightest touch, covering Makoto's hand in gold. Sayaka tells him to take it instead of her, but as a decoration, not as a weapon. Makoto says she doesn't need a weapon because he'll protect her. This is funny for two reasons. A, she's an idol, and therefore way fitter than he is, and B, last time he was in any conflict, he was out of the count for like 10 hours. They get to talking about dreams. Makoto doesn't really have any, which makes sense. He's just slightly annoying cardboard. Sayaka talks about her home life, how she never had a mother, and the first real inspiration in her life was an idol on TV. Sayaka was lonely and isolated, but that idol was able to make her feel right again. That's what she wants to be. So we get to a point I'm not fully sure of. Sayaka says she was willing to do whatever it takes to reach her dream, including things that weren't so pleasant. What does this mean? What were the writers trying to say with this scene? That has somewhat eluded me, even to this day, on my 4th playthrough for this video. What does she mean? Is it just vague nonsense designed to make her more mysterious, more threatening, or is it trying to say something? It's interesting, but I don't think in the way they intended. This isn't really followed up on. Not much. It opens up questions and never thinks to answer them. Saika is scared of being forgotten, falling back into obscurity. She grew up alone and, to some degree, is now living the exact opposite of that. Everyone knows her. Countless people adore her and want to know her more. Sometimes I have to wonder, does she really want to be the idol she saw on TV all those years ago to inspire others, or to help herself, to fix her own loneliness, to heal the wounded child still living within her? I don't know. Saika is terrified of the future, knowing that as time goes by she will eventually fade into irrelevance like everyone before her. She wants to stay static and unchanging, exactly where she wants to be. Saika is an interesting character, and unfortunately she's also the last one. No others really share the same intrigue and complexity. Other characters don't get such a human treatment by the story. There's still a lot to learn about her, but that'll be saved for part 2.
Totally. Come on over and we can barbecue Jimmy John's? Whoa! You cannot barbecue Jimmy John's!